The new version of "I Found a New Way of Living", the Kingdom version. Enjoy, family. I found a new way of living. I found a new love divine. I found the fruit of the Spirit, abiding in the vine. I found a new way of living. I found a new love divine. I found the fruit of the Spirit, abiding in the vine. Abiding in the vine, abiding in the vine. Abiding in the vine, abiding in the vine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. I found prosperity, power, and victory, abiding in the vine. I found a new way of living. I found a new love divine. I found the fruit of the Spirit, abiding in the vine. Abiding in the vine, abiding in the vine. Abiding in the vine, abiding in the vine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. I found prosperity, power, and victory, abiding in the vine. I found a new way of living. I found a new love divine. I found the fruit of the Spirit, abiding in the vine. Abiding in the vine, abiding in the vine. Abiding in the vine, abiding in the vine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. Love, joy, health, peace, He has make them mine. I found prosperity, power, and victory, abiding in the vine. Hi family, greetings, James and Valerie again on the spot with our series on the Kingdom of God, and I trust all of you are truly blessed by all this inspiring, uplifting, exhortation, teaching and input, whatever you may call it, knowledge, wisdom, understanding that you all can accelerate in this 5D new reality of new earth, which was hidden from us, cemented from us by years and years and centuries of centuries, been blocked by the carnal mind through institutions, politics, etc., and how everyone elevates. So your joy is our joy. So if you have a comment on YouTube to share with us your experience while taking the word into your mind, the Logos word into your mind, into your heart, into a lifestyle. Bless you guys. We're going now to session 23, and our topic is I say this with love. We all have those people in our lives. They show up with negativity, doubt, confusion, fear, control, and dream-stealing words. Kind of sound like the 3D consciousness. And almost every time it starts the same way. What they are saying with this 3D mentality is the following: I'm saying this in love. I mean this in love. I love you, but. And then what follows is anything but love. Now, love does not need to announce itself. Here's the truth. If someone is actually spoken in love, it doesn't need a disclaimer. You don't get to preface fear with love and then call it holy. You don't get to wrap control in the word love and expect the soul not to feel the difference. Most people can discern this now, and if you can't, this is your wake-up call. I say this in love is often a tool of control. Here's how it usually sounds. I say this in love, you're deceived. I say this in love, this is New Age. I say this in love, you're going to hell. I say this in love, you're falling away. I say this in love, I knew years ago you'd be one of the elect who would fall. Sounds familiar, family? It's sort of like an in-between of the 3D consciousness and the fifth consciousness. Actually fourth dimension, saying things sincerely, but in the bottom line, beneath everything, there are strings attached. Now that last one was actually said to me, and I'm sure all of you can synchronize and associate with me as well, Valerie and myself. In love, that is not love, that is fear disguised as concern. That is control disguised as care. That is confusion disguised as correction. Love does not speak from fear. I'm going to repeat that. Love does not speak from fear. The nature of love does not talk that way. Love, listen carefully, love is defined that it listens, it invites, it clarifies, it creates safety, it leaves room for dialogue, it does not threaten, it does not shame, it does not divide, it does not scatter. Fear speaks in ultimatums, 3D, whereas love speaks in understanding, 5D. Fear needs agreement to feel safe. Love allows difference and stays present. And that's one of the things that I've always shared from our hearts. The highest form of maturity, spiritual maturity, is although you might differ with me, I can still love you unconditionally. Jesus never said, I only love you when you agree with me. I don't think he ever said that. Now, open dialogue is the proof of love. I'll tell you what I actually believe. We can have shared open dialogue. You don't have to believe what I believe because we're not all on the same journey. Although it's one path, we're all on our different individual, personal spiritual journey. You don't have to see what I see yet. You don't have to walk where I walk. But the moment you arrive with certainty wrapped in fear, control wrapped in concern, threat wrapped in theology, you are no longer speaking from love. You are speaking from defense. Now, the religious mind fears what it cannot control. Now, we know the religious mind is the 3D mind, carnal mind. Once you open yourself to new things, the religious mind immediately reacts. That's not in the Bible. That's not how we were taught. That's dangerous. But here's the truth. The Spirit is not limited to your understanding. Jesus said the Spirit would lead each person individually into all truth. Not as a group doctrine, not as a collective script, not as a control system, but as a personal encounter. And as each person is led, they will share. Now it reminds me of the nature of God. He's a sharing God. You are free to engage. You are free to question. You are free to disagree. As they always say, we can all agree to disagree and still remain respectful. But you are not free to control in the name of love. Now, the energy never lies. You can hear it, you can feel it. Love has a frequency, and that is the highest form of frequency, is the unconditional love of Abba Father. But so does fear. You always know which one is speaking, even if the words sound religious. Carnal mind, 3D. Now let's end with the Spirit's whisper today. Love, unconditional love, does not need a disclaimer. Fear always does. Control announces itself as concern, but truth always leaves the door open. Family, bless you all, and be ready for our session still to follow. The next one, session 24, would be our topic, Eternity is in your heart. From both of us, shalom, shalom, namaste.